Welcome to the Short Funk Podcast. I'm Tom Barbalet. A couple of days ago in the evening, I decided to start practicing the various lyrics, the rapping, some elements of song that will go into this musical project that I've been working on for the past 2 or 3 months. After about half an hour of me working through these various tracks, my wife came in and noted that perhaps turning 40 this year, I'm getting a little bit too old for this kind of stuff. And I looked back at her quizzically, and I thought, this is the antithesis of what I'm trying to do here. Is this something that I should embody? Is this something that I should learn from? Or should I reflect on the fact that a majority of the rapper Chuck D's participation in general discourse and dialogue occurred in his 30s and 40s? This is certainly what I'm reflecting on currently. My perspective is the musical content will be coming out with my voice, irrespective of my age, because quite frankly, for the past 20-odd years, I've been working on a variety of other things, and I need to return to my musical roots at least to conclude some aspect of my life and make me feel like I have done something productive at this current time and this current place. I reflect occasionally on the fact that most of the material that I consume, most of the media that I am interested in, is typically marketed to people in their 20s and 30s. I think my generation, the slither of my generation, has actually not had a degree of popular culture that was adequately marketed to it. I mean, you could talk about things like M&M to a certain extent, but realistically, I think the gap, particularly associated with Hollywood content, has really left my generation in a curious place. We're not really affected by stuff that was of a generation slightly older than us, and we are curiously in between a few elements of popular culture that makes it quite difficult for people of my generation specifically to find those in our generation that are adequately producing content for our generation. And in this light, I'm not really concerned too much by my wife's criticism. I think basically when it comes through, when it's full of editing, when it's had some degree of polish put to it, and also the nature of just electronic effects and manipulation, I'm still willing to give it a go, and I'll certainly be pursuing it in a greater passion, greater length, greater detail when I get back from my travels, because this is ultimately the critical gap between returning the end of May and producing something for early June. These timeframes are very real to me. June 13th is going to be a crescendo associated with the development of Noble Ape, but this is marked in particular by 24 years since a childhood friend of mine disappeared. The curious date for the launch of Noble Ape was also 4 years after a childhood friend of mine disappeared. It was a dual memorial date, and in this light, the music is particularly important. Will Short Funk listeners get an early dose of this music? Stay tuned for more, maybe a dose on the day, or at least some discussion around it. Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.